Hi, Tim. I'm Emily. I'm the school social worker.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Doing alright.
Okay. What brings you in here?
I got suspended from school today.
Why'd you get suspended?
I got into a fight with some kid.
Oh, no. Well, that stinks. How long's the suspension?
For 2 days this time.
This time?
Yeah, I've been suspended 5 times this year, and I think this is the least amount of days that I've been suspended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They wanted me to come and see you so I can work on something, because apparently whatever they're doing is not working.
Okay. All right, wow. So, sorry to hear that. So, you're going to be missing school for
Yep.
2 days?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, what do you think you need to work on?
Probably not get into fights, and probably focus on schoolwork more. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the two things my parents get on me a lot, and that's probably what they're going to tell me tonight when I get home.
Okay. All right. Well, what we can do here today is we're going to work on a skill that us social workers and therapists like to call problem-solving skills.
Okay.
And what we're going to do first, we're going to define the problem. So, like you said, you've kind of already defined it. So we've already kind of knocked out the first step. The problem is you're getting into fights pretty frequently, it seems.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then you mentioned also schoolwork. And so are you having problems with your schoolwork, or?
Yeah, it's just kind of hard and stupid, so I just don't do it. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, do you feel like you're not understanding the material?
It's mostly that, and then mostly I just don't feel like doing it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I really don't get it, so I don't see the point.
Okay. All right. We can kind of touch on that if we continue to meet. We can work on maybe getting you with a tutor.
Okay.
But since the problem that brought you in here, you're suspended for fighting, though, right? Not so much on the academic side. Okay. We can talk about that too, but
okay.
Let's just try and focus on what's making you want to fight.
Usually some kid gets in my face or calls me a name. Usually when I'm having a bad day, someone will call me stupid or something like that, and then I get into a fight with them.
Okay. All right. So maybe we can talk about finding ways to stop you from getting into fights and maybe decreasing your likeliness to get angry or frustrated. So we've defined the problem as getting into fights.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some ways where we can avoid getting into fights.
Well, my parents always told me that you can take deep breaths or walk away, but I never tried it. So, I guess those are two things. Yeah, I don't know what else.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we're talking about problem-solving skills, and this is the second step in problem-solving skills. Is brainstorming, solutions as to what's going to work best. So, if you take a few deep breaths or walk away, those are excellent solutions. I think those are great ideas. Another thing maybe you could try is talking to the person, which is a little similar to walking away, but you're dealing with the conflict one-on-one by talking it out. What are some other things that you can do? What are some things that you like to do that maybe calms you down?
I like to draw,
Okay.
listen to music.
Okay, drawing and listening to music? Those
Yeah.
are great solutions. Do you think maybe that'll work if you...
Usually helps, but I can't doodle in class or listen to my iPod, so
Okay.
usually give
That's
me
true.
detention for doing that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, the next step is to evaluate the solutions that we came up with. So like we said you could take a couple of deep breaths, you could walk away, you could talk to the person and diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
You could draw or listen to music. So what are some ways to, what are some pros and cons to taking deep breaths?
I guess pros, I get a few more seconds to think about what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But cons, I don't know what it's going to change if I still have the same thoughts after I take a couple more seconds to think about it. Because if I still think the fight's going to be a good idea, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Right. Okay, so the pros, it'll give you some more time and maybe some more clarity, maybe to buy you some time to even calm yourself down.
Yeah.
But you're afraid that maybe it might not work. That could be a con.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's think about if you were to walk away. What would be the benefit of walking away?
People wouldn't think I'm as tough as I am and not respect me as much.
That would be, okay, so that would be a reason why you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Okay.
I mean, a good thing is I won't get into the fight, I won't get hurt, so.
Okay. Those sound like good pros and cons. What about if you were to talk it out? Do you think you'd be able to diffuse the situation by...
No, I don't think so. I think it would end up being like the same thing as walking away, except it might make the problem worse, so
Okay.
I don't know if that'll work out for me.
Okay. All right. So it seems like there's more negatives to walking away and talking it out than benefits to that solution, to those solutions. Okay. And then you also mentioned drawing and listening to music. And you said that a con would be if you did those things in school, it could lead to further punishment or repercussions.
Yeah, but I mean, it keeps my mind off of things, and it doesn't make me think about what's going on. I can just let it go. So it works out pretty well for me. I've already gotten in trouble for it at school, so I just can't do it there.
Okay. All right. Well, great. The next step would be, we have to, out of those 5 solutions that we came up with, choosing what you think will work the best, and maybe if a situation comes up within the next week, in between us meeting again and now.
If I had to pick something, I really think, like, talking it out, it's not going to work out very well. I told you that already, but...
If we were to list them from, what you think will work the best and what you think will not work, from 1 to 5, what do you think the least effective will be?
Talking it out, then walking away, taking deep breaths, then listening to music, and then drawing, because drawing helps me out a lot.
Okay. All right. Great. So maybe depending on the situation, and if something comes up, you could try to do one of those things, but you think that maybe drawing would be the best option.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, this is going to end our session for right now. We're going to meet again next week, and in between now and next week, if you have a situation that comes up where you feel really frustrated or angry or feel like you want to punch somebody or get into a fight, I wrote these things down. You can keep this piece of paper.
Okay.
And maybe keep it in your pocket so you know it's there, just as a reminder. And if you get those feelings where you want to act out or act in a negative way and get angry, then you can choose one of those solutions that we picked to solve the problem.
Okay.
And hopefully you can avoid a fight.
I'll try it out.
All right, that sounds good. Well, I'll see you next week.
All right, see you next week.